Hello and welcome back. So for those of you that don't know, I am Jess and I am the owner of So Much More, which is a small dressmaking fabric shop based in Tavistock, Devon. So for today's video, I had all of the plans and I was going to be showing you our new fabrics, all of the new fabrics that have arrived this week. That was the plan, but those fabrics have not arrived. So I'm kind of snookered. And I was thinking, oh God, what am I going to do for this video? And then I remembered that one of you lovely viewers left a comment last week on my video saying that you'd love to see a video of me talking through all of the samples that I have on our sample rail here in the shop. So I thought, okay, that's what I'm going to do. So that's what this video is going to be. I'm going to be talking you through all of our samples, showing you what they look like, telling you what patterns they are, and yeah, I'm going to be talking you through them. So just to warn you though, some of these I've had for about 5 years, which means the fabrics they are made in are probably no longer available. If they are available, I will put the name of them on the screen, and then that means that they're available up on the website. But if there's no name, then they are no longer available, and I'm sorry about that, but it's just the way fabrics come in and out. And yeah, if it's 4 years old, then those fabrics are very unlikely to still be available now. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Before I do that, I'm just going to quickly tell you what I'm wearing, although hopefully you should recognize it, because this is my Tilly and the Buttons Samara blouse, which I made a few weeks ago, and I have got an entire video on. So if you're interested, you can go back and watch that, but it's just a video about the pattern and what I think of it, because it is a new pattern. So I think that is everything I wanted to cover. And without further ado, let's start looking through the rail. Okay, so they are not in any sort of order on this rail. They are just kind of how customers have put them back. So I'm just going to go through them, but there is absolutely no order to this. So the first one here, this is the Fibermood DD sweatshirt or pullover. I can't remember exactly what it's called. I did this in the largest size on the pattern. It's a PDF pattern, but yeah, it was the largest size. I can't remember which size that was, but I wanted it to be really oversized and cozy. This fabric is no longer available, but it is a polar fleece, and it's got these flowers all over it. This was a really big Instagram kind of fabric for a little while. I think a lot of fabric shops had this and it sold out every time. But the DD sweater has this half zip here, which is hard to show you, just two hands, but you can see here, so it is a functioning zip. So yeah, it's that like quarter zip style fleece. And like I said, this is in quite a big size. I can't remember, I have a feeling it might have been like 3XL or something like that, but just cozy and sweet. When I made this, I really like the pattern. The only thing I would say is slightly tricky or like more technical was putting this piece in here. You probably don't really want to see the inside because I did make a bit of a mess on the inside because I tried to overlock that seam, but then the zip was there and obviously you couldn't. So I've overlocked kind of half the seam, but luckily with polar fleece, it doesn't fray. So I didn't have to worry too much about that. So yeah, that's the Fibermood DD pattern, which is only available as a PDF. And if you're wondering about PDFs, I am not someone that has got a shred of patience, in all honesty. So I don't print them off at home and stick A4 pieces together. If you've got that amount of patience, I'm amazed. Good for you. Like that's incredible. I do not. I just don't have the patience for that. So I get mine printed. Normally I buy PDFs from like the Fold line, and then you can just pay for them to print them as well, which is what I tend to do. So it does cost more money, but for me, it saves my sanity a little bit. Okay, the next one is the Tilly and the Buttons Mabel. So I've just done the top. I love this pattern. So this is a sheared, you can see it there, sheared waist. It's kind of like a milkmaid style blouse. So you can do it as a dress as well. I've done this in a, this is a cotton fabric. This colour is no longer available. This was the rust, but this is the one where I've got it in, I think there's about 8 different colours, and the sage green and the dusky pink, they're the 2 most popular colours. But it works really well for shearing if you use a cotton because it's nice and stable. Let me see if I can show you. So I did shearing on the sleeve, so you can see nice and stretchy, and then same on the waist here. And I know that actually this looks like the waist is really, really small. Like if I put that against me, you can see that looks like it's tiny, but because it's stretchy, like it's not tiny, it fits really nice. But like I said, this is the top version, but you can do a long like maxi dress version, which I've seen, and it looks really good. This was a cotton, and you can do it in a viscose. I've made another version, I think is at home. I made it in a viscose because I prefer like the move of a viscose, whereas cotton does kind of stay quite stable. The only thing with this one, it does constantly fall off the hanger. It's got elastic on the shoulders as well, which help keep the sleeves up. It's kind of like a square neck. Oh no, hang on, that's all come out, but that is the, got a tie there, got a tie at the front, so it's that milkmaid kind of style. I think it's really cute. So yes, that is the Tilly and the Buttons Mabel. And I would say if you're worried about shearing, I think this is a good place to start because the Tilly patterns have such good instructions. With shearing, it's basically trial and error. It's not like one size fits all. Every machine is slightly different of what tension you'll need and whether you'll even need to change the tension. There's not like a easy answer for that. It is trial and error to see what works for you and for your machine. But the Tilly and the Buttons instructions, I would say, are one of the best for explaining how to do it. And if certain things are happening on your machine, like say it's coming up too tight, the pattern has got all the instructions for what to do to fix that. So yeah, I'd recommend this one if you are a beginner to shearing. I wouldn't do shearing if you are a complete beginner to sewing, but if you're an established sewer, you've just never done shearing before, then yeah, I think this is a good pattern to start with. Okay, and then the next one is the one that you will have seen in my video a few weeks ago. So it is the Tilly and the Buttons Samara blouse, which is the same one that I am wearing, but this is a size, I remember now, I think this might have been a size 12 or it might have been a 14, but it came up a bit big, whereas the version I've got here is a size 12 on the shoulder, graded to a 14. Actually, that is a complete and utter lie. That is not true. It is a size 8 on the shoulder, graded to a size 12 on my hip. That's what I'm wearing. And this is a flat size 12 with no grading. So yeah, but if you want to know more about that, I've got an entire video on the Samara that I posted a few weeks ago. So that's like a full in-depth version. So you can go and have a look at that. Next on the hanger is a Friday Pattern Company sagebrush t-shirt blouse thing. I'm not sure what you would call it. I suppose it's not a t-shirt. It's made of cotton, so it is a blouse. So you've got this really cute frill along here, and then these gathered like puff sleeves. They are really, really cute. This is I made this in a cotton fabric. This fabric is no longer available, but it's the same as the small cotton ginghams that I've got that I've made the Mabel in, but it was just a larger print. So this is an inch square, but this larger print is no longer available, which is sad because I really like it. But it's a very, very cute pattern this. So it's got a tie neck at the back with a yoke here. And yeah, I think the sleeves are so cute. Personally, this really doesn't suit me. I would try this on, but I don't actually want this to be on the internet because it doesn't suit me at all, having a big sleeve. I look really like hench in this style sleeve, but on some people it looks really, really good. I'm just not one of those people, but it's a very cute pattern, and actually it's not as complicated as you might think. It's quite a straightforward sew, this one, so that's a good one to have a go at. Next is this, which I think is a massively underrated pattern. In the shop it's one of the best sellers, but I think online, yeah, it's a bit underrated. This is the chalk and notch fringe dress. So it's, not sure if you can quite see it there, but it's like a curved hem at the bottom, and it's got 3 buttons at the front, bit of a kind of V-neck, but it's not low cut or anything like that. Standard fold up sleeves, little button there on the side, but it's a really nice fit. It's got waist ties as well, which I've just tied here at the back, but you can tie it at the front, so it helps bring you in kind of at the waist. But I think this is such a nice pattern, but like I said, I think it's kind of slept on a little bit, I think, online. Then a Tilly and the Buttons Drew sweatshirt. I have to say, this is probably one of my favourite patterns that have come out in the last year. I love it. It's a nice, classic, oversized fit sweatshirt. It's a raglan sleeve. You can obviously do this colour blocking, or you can just do it all one colour, but I do like the colour block. But a raglan sleeve, nice and oversized, nice and cosy. It's got ribbing on the neckline, hemband and cuffs. And yeah, I just think there's a lot of fun that can be had with all the different colour choices if you do this colour blocking. I'll show you the back as well. I just think it's really, really cute. I've actually made 3, maybe 4 now. And I think this pattern only came out in like December, so I think that's pretty good going. Okay, so next on the rail is this one, which is another sweatshirt, which is the Nielsen Jara. So I think, actually looking at it, I've got 3 sweatshirts next to each other on this rail, and I think it's because when customers come in and they ask about a certain pattern, it's really handy for me to show them the difference between different patterns. So this is the Jara sweatshirt by Nielsen, but it is a drop shoulder compared to the Drew that I just showed you, which was a raglan sleeve. It's still a nice, like, oversized fit. I like a drop shoulder because I like the slouchy style, but it's not for everyone. So that's kind of, I'll show you the next one in a minute, which is another sweatshirt, is different again in terms of the sleeve fit. The good thing with the Nielsen Jara one is there's so many different options. So you can do a version that's got a tie here. You can do a curved hem. Can't remember now, but I know there's 4 different options. I'll put a picture up on the screen of the different options. And this is made from our sweatshirting, which in fact, so was the Drew, and so is this one, made from our core line sweatshirting. This one here is the Tilly and the Buttons Billy sweatshirt. So I have a cricket and I added this on with vinyl, but it is just a white sweatshirt. But you can see here, this is more of a set-in sleeve style sweatshirt. It is also slightly more fitted than the previous 2, and that is what I meant about why they're next to each other on the hanger, because if a customer is trying to decide which sweatshirt, these 3, they might look, oh, hang on, I've dropped it. Bear with. There we are, that's better. So the Jara, the Billy, and then the Drew, I think it's really helpful to be able to see the difference between the 3, because on the pattern front, they probably look kind of similar, but you've got a drop shoulder, a standard set-in sleeve and a slightly more fitted shape, and then a raglan sleeve with a more oversized shape. So that's the difference between those three sweatshirt patterns, and that is the reason I think they are all next to each other on the rail. So the next one is actually similar again, but different. This is a hoodie. So this is the chalk and notch page hoodie. I've done it in like a colour blocked style, which I think is really cute actually. And yeah, I really like this pattern. Again, I think it's one of those patterns that's kind of slept on a little bit. But that is, I think personally, chalk and notch is slept on a little bit. It's not as popular as other pattern brands, but I don't know why, because I think some of their patterns are really nice. So this is the page hoodie. It's a really fun sew. I wasn't sure. It's got eyelets here. I wasn't sure how I'd get on with eyelets because I'd never done anything like that. I've never done like hardware before, but it was dead easy, dead simple. And then next, we've got my Zara jumpsuit, which if you saw my video, I think it was last week, this featured in it. So it's a really cute, you can see there, it is trousers, not a skirt, just like a wrap style jumpsuit. This is made in a viscose fabric, which helps kind of make it all flowy, but you can do it in a more structured fabric like a linen or a cotton, and it would, yeah, hold its shape a bit more. Then I've got my Friday Pattern Company Patina Blouse. Now this one I have hacked, I have changed from the pattern. So I've actually added on this kind of peplum skirt part of the blouse because I wanted to and I quite liked it. So the Patina Blouse has got this classic collar. I absolutely love the sleeves of the Patina Blouse. So I don't know if you can see, it's got like a gathered sleeve, but it's not super puffy. It's just a really nice, like subtle in the way that the sleeve then hangs, and then it is a buttoned front. So ordinarily on the pattern, it is just a straight down shirt style. But like I said, I just basically chopped it off here and then added a gathered rectangle to the bottom just to make it a little bit different. I quite like a flowy bit around my stomach. So that's what I did to that one. Then we've got the classic Friday Pattern Company Ilford Jacket. Now this type of fabric is now no longer available, but I did at one point have loads of this in the shop and it was perfect for this jacket. It's a good like brushed, I think it was a brushed polyester, so like a brushed cotton but just slightly heavier and more hard wearing. But yeah, this is the Ilford Jacket. So basically it's a really good shacket. It's got pockets somewhere. Here we go. Got pockets. I've made a few of these actually, and I wear them quite often. And next, now this one I actually made before I even opened the shop, but I love it. This is the Tilly and the Buttons Indigo. I did shorten it because I personally would wear this kind of thing with leggings. So I didn't want a full like dress length. It's got these really cute sleeves and then a gathered waist, and it has got darts somewhere. Not sure I can show you that. But I really like the indigo. I've made the indigo loads. I've done a version actually out of a jersey, and so all I did was change the neckline here because it's a facing on the traditional, like the standard indigo pattern. It's a facing. I just kind of drafted my own neckband and I made it out of jersey, and it is, I swear to God, one of the comfiest things I own. I'll try and put a picture of it up on the screen. I actually made it during COVID, so like 5 years ago. So my hair's a different colour, but I will put a picture of it up on the screen. And yeah, so comfortable. Then next, it is another Tilly and the Buttons. This is the Nell Dress, which was a pattern that came in last year. I have to say, I do think this pattern is quite similar to the chalk and notch Fringe dress that I showed you earlier. It is very cute. It's got the V-neck, and then it's got buttons all the way down the front there. It has got some like patch pockets that I've put on the front of the skirt. Very, very cute. What I would say with this one, which is actually similar with most of the Tilly patterns that I've found, is that it does come up a little bit big. So this was a 14 and it kind of swamps me. I would probably, if I was making a version for myself, I'd probably do a size 10. So I'd size down. But do check the like finished garment measurements, because if I'd read that, I probably would have realised that, yeah, it comes up a bit big. And then next I've got, oh, it's another Tilly and the Buttons Indigo. Like I said, I've made a few of these, but this one is the standard length. So you can see I haven't cropped this one. But yeah, just the standard length, exactly straight out of the packet. Now, this next one is one that you will never believe is that pattern. I will put a picture of the pattern on the screen and I will hold this up. You'd never think it, would you? This is the Chalk and Notch Orchid mini dress. I obviously have made it as the top version. This is not a dress length, but I've made it in a cotton and it just looks completely different to the picture on the front of that pattern, which is part of the reason I make these samples, because I think patterns look entirely different once they're actually made up. So it is a faux wrap style top, but obviously, like I said, you could do it as a dress. It's got a yoke on the back there. It's got some really nice detailing. So it's got this like gathered here. I'm not sure what you'd call that. It's not quite the shoulder. It's like here. You've got gathering there and there. You've got the gathering on the back. Yeah, it's just, I think it's quite a different style actually that you don't get very often. This is made in a cotton, but if you did it in a viscose, it would look entirely different, because you can see the cotton like really does hold its shape, whereas a viscose, it's going to be a lot more flowy. And then next we've got a Tilly and the Buttons Lyra. Again, I think I made this one during COVID a very long time ago. I've shortened it like I do pretty much everything because I don't like a full length dress, but this is so cute. So you can see it's got a collar here, but I made it in this leopard print peach skin. So it's super, super soft. You've got the buttons down the front here, and then you've got the gathering along the waist. It's actually, because it's in such a busy print, I'm not sure that it's really showing you on camera, but I can really show you the details. It's got elasticated sleeves, which I love because it's the same as this style. It's a good, just basically everyday shirt dress, this Lyra pattern. Then next is the Chalk and Notch Knits. So I just did the blouse version, and I will say this is similar to the Tilly and the Buttons Nell, but in my opinion, it's more complicated, and I'm not sure, I'm undecided whether it's worth it of being more complicated, and I'll explain what I mean. So on this one, you've got these little loops to do the buttons rather than buttonholes, and it's a nice touch, but for me it's quite fiddly, and I'm not sure that I necessarily think it makes that much of a difference, where like compared that to having just a standard buttonhole, I'm not sure that it really matters. It's got some nice detailing here on the shoulder, which I do quite like, but again, it's more work basically than compare it to the Nell. There's a lot more steps to go through. It's got a yoke on the back, which is really nice. It's really flattering, but it does come up big. So this is a size 12 because I knew it came up big. So I started slightly smaller, and let me hold it against me. You can see it's too big for me. I'd say it's probably about 3 sizes too big. It does come up really, really big. And I find that quite frustrating when you're making a pattern. Like, I know that you need to look at the finished garment sizes and stuff, but I don't know. I find it a bit frustrating when it's that far out, and I know that I'm not the only one that has found that this pattern comes up big. I've seen a lot of people kind of on Instagram saying that this comes up really big, and I've had customers say that it comes up big, so at least I know it wasn't just a me problem. Then we've got, it is another sheared dress, but this one is a PDF pattern, so it is the whole bodice here. Kind of hard to show you because I've got to hold the hanger up here, but the whole bodice here is stretchy. So this is the Sophia Dress by Victory Patterns, and it is a PDF only pattern, but I really like it. I really like the sleeves on this. They're like little floaty angel sleeves. So yeah, I made this when I did the Tilly and the Buttons Mabel top, and I learned how to do shearing. I was like, oh, now I get it. I'm going to have a go like properly with loads of rows of shearing. So this was my attempt at that, and yeah, it worked quite well. Then we've got the Chalk and Notch waterfall raglan t-shirt. So this has got a little fun like peplum style added to the bottom of the t-shirt, which I just think it makes a standard t-shirt just a little bit more fun, because t-shirts can just be a bit boring, can't they? But this bottom bit just adds a little bit of something. It's got a neckband on it, and yeah, so this is made from a cotton jersey. Just cute every day. I've made a version of this that I actually haven't worn it in a while, but like I said, it's just a good throw it on every day kind of t-shirt, but not boring. And then we are getting towards the end of this rail now. This is the Wardrobe by Me. What's it called? It is called something like the 1/4 inch neck. I'll put a picture of it up on the screen. It's, I don't know if I can do this. I'll show you. Got a functioning zip at the top here, and I've made this out of a polar fleece, and it is just a good basic, I think, this style. Like it's a good layer to have, isn't it? And yeah, so I've made this in a polar fleece, but you could do it in a sweatshirting, a French terry, anything like warm, snuggly, cozy. Then this is the Tilly and the Buttons Agnes t-shirt, which is a long sleeved scoop neck t-shirt. This is a cotton jersey. I've made it, but you can do these fun, I don't know what you would describe them as, like puff sleeve style. Yeah, so they're like gathered at the top, and then it's got this like elasticated, I don't know how to describe it, bit down the middle. I will be honest, it's not really my style, so that's why I can't actually remember what this is, because I've only made this once and it was for this sample. But again, it's as similar as the waterfall raglan. It makes a t-shirt a little bit more than just a standard t-shirt. If you find that kind of boring, this just makes it a little bit more fun and interesting. But you can do it without, so you can just do this as like a plain long sleeve t-shirt if you do just want a nice basic simple style. Then we've got the True Bias Shelby. Now this is one of my faves. How cute. So it's actually a princess seamed style dress, which means it gives a really nice overall fit. I'm not sure if you're going to be able to see the seams around here, but it does. It gives like a really nice overall fit. It is buttons all the way down. You can see, I think I might have made this one shorter as well, because this style of dress I would wear with leggings. So that's why everything is slightly more cropped, because you don't want like knee length. You want slightly shorter than that. So yeah, it does look a bit short like this. It's got a tie, which I've tied on the back. I just think cute. This, I wore this a lot in the autumn with like big chunky boots. It's that kind of style. And then the final one is this one here, which is the Megan Nielsen Jara, but I made this in a viscose jersey. So it's actually a ribbed jersey. This fabric's no longer available, but this is a really good way to show the difference that a fabric can make. So this is the same pattern. This one is made with a sweatshirting. This one is made with a viscose jersey. Can you see how this moves so much more? This stripy one has so much more movement. So it is much lighter weight, so you're not going to get the warmth from a viscose jersey. But if you're, so for like this time of year, springtime, this is a really good kind of basic layer to have, and I think it just hangs really nicely. So it's a good way to show you like the difference that, yeah, that fabrics can make to the same pattern. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It was not what I had planned, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless, even if it's just the one person that asked for it last week. But actually, saying that, if you have any suggestions on videos you'd like to see from me, please put them in the comments, because I imagine this is likely to happen again, where I have a plan of what I'm going to do and then I can't do it for whatever reason. So it might be good to have some suggestions of what you'd like to see. So if this scenario occurs again, then I'll be able to give you something that you actually want to watch. So yeah, please leave your suggestions in the comments. But I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you liked seeing what I've made and my thoughts on some of them. So yeah, I will see you next week for next week's video, and I am hoping and praying and have everything crossed that next week's video will be the new fabric arrivals, because really excited about them, and I really just want them to arrive in the shop because they're amazing. Anyway, so yeah, that's it. I hope you all have a good rest of your week, and I will see you in the next video.